Okay, shifting gears again. Let's go over to Alan Nuckman, Chief Market Strategist at BullseyeOption.com, who's got his eyes on emerging markets because he's in the emerging market of, looks like you're in Abu Dhabi.
I would be in Mexico as usual. So there's a foot of snow in my hometown, so I had to get out.
Okay. Nice, Alan. I wish I could be there with you, but we got to be in the studio. Well, maybe we'll meet up to trade some non-U.S. assets. It seems like that's where your mind is right now.
Well, it's back to risk reward. Obviously, we had a great week last week. The market snapped back. This drop from the top was 250 points. The S&P on that old high that targets S&P 500, 5,000. So I'm looking at stocks and sectors and segments that haven't participated. And the emerging markets is down 10% in the last 6 months. It's actually negative in 2021, and it's 15% off its February top. So I like this chart pattern. We're trading here between 50 and 55 for the last year of trade and going nowhere. But the fact is that it's negative when the rest of the market and everything else has gone higher. It's set up itself nicely.
Okay, so what about this dollar on the move, though? Isn't that like the EM killer?
Yes, that's what has held it back so far. And like you talked about in the last segment, we don't know what the catalyst is going to be for gold or, or for this, but I like this consolidation pattern. We've been going sideways. If you look at it on a 10-year basis, the emerging markets ETF here has been between 30 and 60 for 10 years. So 45 is an important midpoint support. So we're leading on that level. And we want to get into some of the fundamentals of what's happening in the marketplace. The futures markets are telling us there's going to be 3 rate hikes in 2022 and 3 in 2023. Okay. That's going to bring the grand total of short-term interest rates to 1.75% after all that's done. Okay. So that's still almost zero in my book. And if you look at 2024, 25, and 26, there's 0 rate cut hikes in the system. So it's done. The markets, have already moved forward. So let's see what the dollar does. But the way I want to play this EEM is I'm looking at the June call. June has 6 full months of time. The June 45 call is $44 in the money. It is trading for about 5.5, 5.75 right now. Again, 6 months of time. That's the key.
Okay, so you're giving yourself plenty of time here. However, I don't think you're giving yourself enough of Mexico, Alan. There's only 2% weighting Mexico in EEM. It's all Hong Kong and China, which has been like the worst trade out there. You're getting a lot of China in here. Does that concern you?
No, I'm looking for a little bit of a snapback in a lot of these markets that have not done well.
Okay.
And again, it's about risk reward, and it's got a lot of potential. But really, the key was I was looking at the chart of Brazil, and that's been a terrible looking
atomic
opportunity. And I like Brazil, but I didn't have the guts to just step up and buy the
EWZ
ETF. This is a more diversified way to participate in some of these markets that have really looked bad for a long time.
Okay, there we go. I love the details into the thought process here. So you wanted to dabble in Brazil, EWZ down a ton, down $15 off the high. I mean, EM not too much better, but at least just kind of thinking about diversification to your point. Brazil's down 30% off the highs. EEM, you got to go back to February, down 16%, but maybe trying to find some support here, and that's the idea behind the trade.
Exactly. So it's, again, my stock substitution strategy. It's like being long from 45. 45 is the midpoint of the last decade. That's something that, that is very palatable considering. And there's a lot of potential catalysts to get this on the move again. And it's been so negative for so long. And that's when I like to set up these plays where you're buying an in-the-money option that has plenty of time. So a modest move in this ETF would be a big gain in the option, and that's the strategy.
Okay, there's the rub. Thank you, Alan. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for the emerging market trade. Call it a hometown trade in this case. Alan, Chief Market Strategist at BullseyeOption.com, looking to buy EEM.